We're in San Sebastian, and today I'm going to take you through what a typical day in the life for me looks like. Somebody that works and earns money online, can travel whenever and wherever he wants, and basically somebody that's got the time, the financial and the location freedom, and yeah, show you what a typical day looks like here in northern Spain in San Sebastian. Come along for the journey. We're about to go grab a coffee and we'll go from there. I think one of the common problems is that when most people start their own business, and there's definitely a process that people have to go through, but they never actually start a business. What they do is they start a job. They start taking on clients or doing whatever they're doing, and they never build foundations for the business properly. So they end up just owning a very stressful and quite often a very low paying job. And something I've been learning when I'm building my new software company is building it to sell it, even if you've got no intention to sell it, because then you build it properly. You build it with the right people in place, with the right systems in place, and it allows you to actually own a business as opposed to owning a job. When you can do that, you're able to do things like we're doing right now, which is 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, having a coffee, because the business doesn't rely on me. My income isn't reflected by the number of hours that I work each day, and I'm able to do things, go out for coffee, go out for lunch later on, go out for dinner tonight, and the business runs without me basically. And it's really important that you build it properly basically from day one.
So just been doing a little bit of work for a couple of hours, and what I've been working on is my software company to basically make life easier for the students that join my program, the Freedom Accelerator. And basically what that does, and the reason I share this with you is to let you know how I make my money and how I'm able to, as I say, travel. It is not through what most people on YouTube do, which is like selling courses. I make 98% of my money through something called a lead arbitrage system. And then I make 2% of my money by helping other people to do the same. It's more of a passion project than anything else. It makes zero financial sense for me to be doing things like investing in software when I make so much more of my money elsewhere. But basically what a lead arbitrage system is, and what it does is, in really simple terms, you find businesses that want leads, and you also find people that have the skills to generate those leads for those businesses. And then you charge the business owner an amount of money for a lead, and then you pay the person that found the lead an amount of money. And you obviously pay the person that found the lead less money than you are charging the business owner, and you keep the difference. So you're basically getting paid for leads that you didn't find yourself, you didn't generate yourself, you didn't pay for yourself. The business owner paid for the lead, and you're just kind of like the middleman, and that's the lead arbitrage system. And there's a video on my channel that goes into a little bit more detail about exactly what it is. But that's what I do, is I charge businesses for leads and sales calls and pay other people to do it for me. And it's kind of really weird quite hard to almost get your head around that I don't work a lot for the amount of money that I make, because as I mentioned earlier when we were grabbing a coffee about having a business as opposed to a job, I have a team in place that does it all for me. So it's quite difficult sometimes, and woe is me, world's smallest violin, definitely first world problems, but it's quite difficult to get your head around the fact that you can earn quite a lot of money without working a lot for it. And it becomes a little bit of a challenge as to what to do with your day. which is why I actually created the Freedom Accelerator, which is where I teach people how to do what I'm doing, and I'm creating software for them and blah, 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 blah. And this video is not about that side of the business. It's to basically help you possibly start being able to travel and earn money while you go, so you can come to really cool places like San Sebastian, for example, experience more from life and get the freedom that you want. And so we are about to head out for some lunch. It's going to be a very light lunch because we're going out for dinner later on tonight with some friends as well, to a cideria, as it's called. Probably butchered the pronunciation. But basically, it's a cider house where they sell cider and steak. Not the biggest fan of cider, but I do like my steak. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so I'm going to go out for lunch now, come back. I've got a call with our Freedom Accelerator students that we do every single week. And yeah, go from there. So stick around and carry on with the journey.
So one of the cool things about San Sebastian is the pinchos, as they're called, which is like tapas, but supposedly on bread. A bit like going on a bar crawl, where you jump from place to place drinking. You jump from place to place over here eating pinchos. So the idea is that you get one pincho, which is usually like kind of something that big. You get one drink, and you have that at one bar, and then you go to the next place, then the next place, then the next place. First time I came here, got it horribly wrong. I would order a pincho and then like a normal sized beer, and basically by the end of the night you drank a lot of beer and you haven't eaten that much food, and you get drunk really easily. So there's something called a zorrito, which again, butchering the pronunciation, it's basically a really small beer. So you get a pincho and a zorrito, which is like the equivalent size of beer in food, and then you can kind of have a more civilized evening eating pinchos. And what's great about San Seb, apart from the food, is it's, for saying how good this place is, it's not really explored that much by tourists. And I think that's because it's quite hard to get to. There's like 2 airports that you can fly into through Europe. Biarritz, which is actually in France, then you cross the border. It's about like 45 minutes away. Or there's Bilbao, which is just over an hour away. But most English people like myself are kind of a bit too lazy to do that amount of traveling. And so it's off the typical like tourist trap route for Brits. And the weather isn't always good either. But yes. And so the weather's not always that good either. So like that stops it being as like touristy as other places that Brits go to, which it's always nice to go and not hear a load of the same language that you speak, a bit more like cultural and all that good stuff. So there's your history on pinchos in San Seb. Gonna finish off my coffee now, go back, got a call shortly, and we'll see where the rest of the day takes us.
It's not the 20% who already wants to buy, but rather that 60% where you're taking them from, I'm not sure, I want to do it, but it's easier to postpone a decision to go, you know what, activate your decision now. I want to see the mastery, I guess, and to see how I can implement it in my own sales as well.
There's 2 types of sales. There's B2B sales, there's B2C sales. That pushing through is really prevalent and valuable B2C. B2B, I don't do that. I don't actually try, and I'll try and have as genuine and honest conversation as possible. But what I'm not going to do on a B2B sale is do that. And I went through the exact same thought process that you're going through now, is maybe you've heard other sales experts say that they're going to they can crush on one call and everything's a one call close, and then you're like, well, I must be missing something because all my calls are 2 call closes. And that's like a trap, I think. I'm not a self-proclaimed sales expert, but I do believe that is a trap and a false thing. And it also depends on where you are generating your sales calls from. So just wrapped up a call that went for just over an hour with a few of the Freedom Accelerator students, talking about sales calls, talking about processes and everything in between. We do one of these calls every single week, and any questions that kind of are a little bit more urgent, we have a community where they can come in and ask any questions. So it is now just gone 6 p.m. I am gonna go for a quick jog, kind of wrap up work for the day, and then we're gonna head out for dinner. So yeah, there we go.
Out for food at the moment. I got the microphones, really loud. Scenery wasn't very good, so we've ended up on a pincho crawl. And yeah, very tasty. So that is pretty much a wrap for today. We've done a lot of work, been out for some pinchos, been out for a few drinks, and it is now 10:15 and we are going home because we're going to do it all again tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.